Hello and welcome to the CFL Fans in the USA podcast. Rick Crabb with you, joining me on the line, of course, the moderator of the Facebook group, Bill Hall. Bill, we're going to start the show on a somber tone. I'm not even playing the Bret Hart music to begin because we have a lot of serious stuff before we get to the football stuff that we enjoy every week. First thing I want to mention is to everyone in the United States and Canada, especially those in Canada who are affected with the wildfires. Hope everybody listening there is safe. You can get to safety if you're in the line of fire, that sort of thing. If you have air quality issues wherever you live, hopefully you can stay safe from that. Wear N95 masks if you need to. Maybe even check on if you have any friends, relatives, neighbors who are maybe elderly or have respiratory issues. Maybe check on them too. Make sure everything's okay. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. It was pretty bad on Friday, and I had to tell my old man and his girlfriend to put the mask on, and it's pretty much, I hope everyone, family and animals, and I hope the government and the officials did okay to make this sustainable. So I think we did a good job. I think we did a good job as humans to take care of each other. So I hope everyone made it out safely. So we're all in this together, right?
Definitely. And as of recording, folks, I apologize for the audio quality, but it sounds like God's trying to do his part to put out the fires because he's raining and doing little thunder boomers while Phil and I are recording. Thank you, Lord.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever.
Thanks.
All right. Well, Phil, let's start off. And as you said off the air, we're going to touch on this briefly because there's so much speculation about it. So many people are putting in their 2 cents, and it's. Look, personally, I think a lot of what the 2 cents that's being put in is inappropriate, but we're going to treat it with as much respect as possible. I'm sure a lot of the folks listening to this are diehard CFL fans, and you are aware of this. But in case you're not, this past Saturday, Saskatchewan linebacker Jayden Dalke passed away due to being in a car accident, and more details were revealed. Basically, there was a police report saying that Jayden was driving the wrong way, and he collided with another. He was driving on the highway the wrong way and collided with another driver by the name of Brisma Rajaguru, who was only 22 years old. Anyway, the collision killed both drivers. There's a lot of speculation as to what Mr. Dalke had in his car. I'm not going to get into all that. I'm not a cop or like a forensic scientist or anything like that. Bill, I know you're not either, although you work in a hospital, so you might be a little closer to that than I am. But regardless, it's tragic that you had 2 young lives passed away. So definitely, however it happened, prayers go out to Dalke's and Rajaguru's families. They're going through a tough time.
Yeah, I made my little 2 cents of that on the Facebook thing, and I think people want to put their own agenda about this whole situation, but I think the people forgetting about these 2 young people lost their life, and their families lost 2 people, and that's the harsh reality of it. So all I gotta say, I just want to give respect to all the families and the friends. I also want to give respect to all the Riders fans and Saskatchewan organization as well, because no matter what it is, we just lost 2 people in a horrific situation, and it's a terrible situation, and all you have to worry about is how the family's doing, and that's what it is. And like I say, compassion matters more than arguments. And That's all it is. It's trying to be compassionate about it. And I know for a fact, I know what Dalke and I know the Dalke family and the Raju Guru, they want to see the truth, and we're going to let the truth come out, but as we have no right to judge on the situation. So, rest in peace for both of them.
Yeah, definitely. Well said, and you did write you wrote a great piece about that as well. I would encourage our members who are in the Facebook group to look that up. That Bill posted it directly. So, yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah, it's big time.
Yeah.
But you know, like we said, we gotta keep it football, and we're not gonna do politics. We're not gonna do who's right, who's wrong. We're gonna honor these guys just in life. So.
Right.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to keep it football. We're going to keep doing what we do. But deep and down, just think about their family right now. And think about your own family, too. Like, you never know. Because we don't know when our time is up. So, if you see your wife, you see your girlfriend, you see your kids, you see your parents, hell, you see the sexy next door neighbor you're talking. Just say, hey, what's up? Like, you never know. So,
yeah, well said. And I will comment on this, though, which is, I know we talk about, like, rivalries and stuff, and we see that a lot in the groups, and we were kidding about it last week with Toronto and Hamilton, but I thought it was right as it was first announced before the other details came out. Seems like every team did a social media statement about it. At the beginning of the Ottawa-Winnipeg game, TSN showed literally the PA announcer for Ottawa make an announcement and do a moment of silence and all that. I was even thinking of recording that putting that on the show, but I don't know. With the other stuff that came out, I don't know. Might seem disingenuous, but
yeah. So yeah, basically, yeah. And I'm gonna let nature taste, of course. But right now, all I'm worried about is the family right now, and that's the main thing we need to do. And people want to put their little 2 cents in, fine. If you think this is wrong, fine. But just worry about the family, the kids, the brothers, siblings, everyone. Just the teammates, the work, work people, friends. It's just a terrible situation, big time, and it just makes you want to sit back and just reflect what happened in life, and you got to appreciate life because you only have one time doing this. So,
right.
Yeah, so that's.
Yeah, I know. It's happy. I mean, a lot of times, this is why we watch sports. It's a diversion to things that happen in real life, but then when they mix, it seems like sometimes they hit harder. I'm going to draw attention to another story that you posted a link to regarding Ottawa defensive coordinator Barron Miles. The article I'm about to read is from the Red Blacks themselves off of their website. And I'll tell you why I'm going to read it in a second. Well, when we reach the end of it. Okay, it says, the Ottawa Red Blacks and the Canadian football community are supporting former Red Blacks defensive coordinator Barron Miles and his family as his daughter Ava continues her courageous battle with 2 rare medical conditions. And let me get my readers. Hold on. The Hall of Fame defensive back played 12 seasons in the CFL, winning 2 Grey Cups, earning 6 League All-Star selections and 10 Divisional All-Star nods, among many other individual accolades. Following his playing career, Miles transitioned to coaching and spent the 2023 and 2024 seasons running Ottawa's defense, before joining the Calgary Stampeders coaching staff ahead of the 2025 season. All the challenges, accolades, and accomplishments don't compare to Barron and his wife Jennifer having to see their daughter Ava struggle, something no parent ever wants to see. For the past 6 years, Ava has battled gastroparesis and median arcuate ligament syndrome, conditions that have led to repeated hospitalizations, multiple surgeries, and extensive Medicare. Ava was first diagnosed when she was 16 years old, and much of her past 6 years have been spent in hospital rooms. What should have been the happiest, most carefree years of her life have been filled with medical procedures, tube feeding, and constant pain. After being told the doctors in Arizona had done all they could locally, the Miles family is now pursuing specialized treatment at the Cleveland Clinic. But costs associated with that care are substantial after insurance denied coverage for much of the treatment due to it taking place in a different state than her home in Arizona. God, I'm glad. I want to commend Ottawa for not listing the name of that insurance company, because if they did, I would be blasting them right now. But anyway.
Yeah.
Costs are expected to exceed $400,000 US to cover treatments, surgery, and post-op care. Longtime CFL coach Wally Wono and his wife Sandy launched a Canadian fundraising campaign in addition to the U.S. campaign to help the Miles family cover the cost of Ava's care. Support has since poured in from across the league, with current and former players, coaches, organizations, and fans coming together in support of the Miles family. In response, the CFL community has rallied around one of its own. Anyone who wishes to support the cause can do so by visiting this link. Click here. So, the end of this article, folks, there is a hyperlink where it goes to, I guess it's to the GoFundMe's or whatever, but I'm going to post this article in the comments of the video, and if you want to click here, if you have the means to do so, you want to help, there's a link for you to do that. So I might do that myself after we finish recording.
Yeah, absolutely. And me and Brandy put some money to the cause too, because cancer sucks, and I know little Ava is kicking butt right now. And I know Ava's gonna beat this. And if you can't put any money, put some encouraging comments to this to this situation here, and whatnot. We're gonna put some money in it. I'm gonna try to reach out Barron Miles and give us our thoughts and prayers for him and his family, and basically and like I say, just take a look at it, take a look at the article, take a look at it. If you have enough money, I'm not trying to beg money, but if you have some money, put some money in there, because $400,000 is a lot of money, especially insurance is canceled, and don't get me going on insurance with the situation, and it's just heartfelt, but guess what? Ava's still battling, and I think Ava's going to win this, but we need the help, so
right.
Pretty much that.
Yeah, but man, that's tragic. As poor girl's going through this stuff, and then that insurance company, man. I mean, it's like, okay, don't get me started on that. I might have to put some money in the cuss jar, and if I do, I would send it over to them. But
I trust me, I'll be right behind with the cussing. I think it's BS what the situation is, and I feel like this should be the exception. And like insurance is I'm not gonna go there, guys, but I'm just saying, try to look out for this. And I know people was all hot and bothered about the other situation. Look at this situation here. Shout out for Ottawa for putting it out there. Shout out for CFL to put it out there. And basically, $400,000 ain't no chump change. I put it out to the sites. I put it up on the UFL sites. I put it out to my Steelers sites. I put it through my NFL sites, and I put it on my own personal Facebook site. So it's all in. This is bigger than football. This is life here. So.
Yeah. Absolutely, and and also shout out, of course, to all the other players and coaches and fans who have already donated, and it's like you're among them. So, yeah.
Thank you, everyone who read this or with the Dodgers. So we're with you, Ava. So kick cancer ass for us, all right?
Right. Yeah, we want to read another story about some good news resulting from this. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll keep you updated on that for sure.
Right. Well, some other bad news, not nearly as significant as the two stories that we read, related football-wise and injury-wise. BC Lions quarterback Nathan Rourke got hurt over the weekend. Phil, have you heard any more about his status?
I heard no practice. He didn't practice. It was a pretty bad hit. My buddy Mike Goodchow, he's a big Winnipeg fan. He went to the Edmonton game on Friday. He saw him in a sling. It looked bad for a case. So I don't know. It might be a while. I'm speculating it. He ain't practicing, so it's up to Bryce to keep the BC going. And what a big blow for the BC Lions, for real, because they had Grey Cup potential, and now who knows? You know?
Yeah, really. I'm hoping you and I didn't jinx them, since we both picked them in Hamilton to go to doggone Grey Cup, but
yeah. I feel like I feel like Danhausen. I'm jinxing. This is my second year jinxing the team, because last year I picked Ottawa. Yeah, Ottawa. You know, but but it's just it was a bad hit, and it was the first play of the game, and he got destroyed. And I hope speedy recovery. They signed a quarterback. They signed Tyree Adams. He's a mid-level player, but who knows? He might spark plug it. But I think Bryce is solid. I just think he's no Nathan Rourke. So
right.
We'll see.
I got one more news story that's actually somewhat positive, but I don't think part of the reason is because of the tragedy to Dalke, but it's football related. Someone from my DC Defenders is actually coming in as a defensive end to the Rough Riders. Named defensive end Derek Robinson is signing with him. Robertson was a finalist for MVP and finished the season with 28 pressures and 7 sacks. Yeah, this guy was vicious. If I'm not mistaken, Phil, I'll have to look on the highlights. I don't know if you remember, there was a game in the middle of the season in the UFL between DC and Louisville where the Louisville quarterback was rocked. I think he might have been involved in that. I'll have to double check that, but it was a hit that looked.
Finals?
What's that?
Was that the finals against
No, it was the second. I think it was. No, it was the first game. It was a regular season game. It might have been because they had played. I think they played each other back to back, and DC was winning at the time, and it looked like the Louisville quarterback was going to be knocked out of the game, but it did the exact opposite. It rallied him, and they wound up peeling away and beating DC pretty handily from that. And I think that was kind of like their rallying cry. I think it turned around Louisville's season and helped them advance all the way and win the championship. But yeah, the DC Defenders defense, I was so frustrated with them sometimes, Bill, because here's the thing. The defensive coordinator was the son of Greg Williams, who a lot of people might remember from the Bounty Gate and all that. A lot of his defense was, DC's defense is real aggressive, and when they're on and they can get the quarterback, it looks great because it's like, it's not just one guy, it's like 6 or 7, looks like a mugging. It's beautiful to see if you like defense. But the downside is they were so aggressive, a lot of times they would get burnt for a deep ball. And I'm thinking, this looks familiar for some reason. Then, when they interviewed Greg Williams, they asked him, said, okay, how do you come up with your style? I said, well, I'm a disciple of Buddy Ryan. And I'm like, oh, God. And the reason I say that as a Baltimore Ravens fan, Rex Ryan was our defensive coordinator. He did the same thing. He would go out trying to kill the quarterback, and sometimes he'd succeed, but then other times if you got a quarterback with a quick release like an Aaron Rodgers or your boy Roethlisberger burnt us with this a bunch of times, man. He scored some deep for like 70, 80 yards and then a touchdown. It was sickening, but anyway, I think this is a good pickup for Saskatchewan. I've seen him play in person twice this year, and saw him a couple times last year as well. So good for the Rough Riders. I hope this pick works out for him.
Yeah, and you tell me Robinson is a physical back, and he was pretty much the key piece of the defenders, right? So that might be a good piece for the Saskatchewan, and they deal with a lot of injuries and situation. And I think possibly Milligan might be coming back for Thursday game. So who knows? There might be all hands on deck on the defense side for Saskatchewan. So we'll see.
Yeah, well, he goes from a United Bowl finalist and a previous UFL championship team to a Grey Cup championship team. So, and greatness follows greatness, I guess.
Yeah, and he's definitely gonna bring that the physicality of the DC defender up into Regina. So that could be great, And I also see, and this just came in my news right now, the Argonauts brought back an old foe, Alouette foe, Sean Lemon. What do you think about that?
I saw that. Yeah, it's like they were excited about that. They brought back somebody else too. I forget on that, but yeah, I did remember seeing the Sean Hall though. It was one pick they even showed him like in. I guess he played for the Argonauts years ago, and it looked like it was like a throwback, like a Joe Theismann or Doug Flutie would wear. I was like, wow, okay. But
yeah, and then they also brought back Dwayne Hendricks. He used to play for the Tiger Cats. He was solid. So they bring about these old heads back. Who knows? And if people don't know about Sean Lemon, he used to play for the Steelers. But he had some trouble a couple of years ago. I think he got suspended about something. I could be wrong. But the resume is nice. He is a two-time defense linebacker, a two-time all-star defense player. He's a three-time Grey Cup, 2014, 17, and 23. And he also one-time all-defense linebacker of all time. Oops, I'm just stumbling, guys. But he has a great resume. He's 37 years old, but who knows? You might need some of that veteran play. So, we'll see.
Okay. All right. Well, I like that our news is progressing into good news, and it'll help us segue into our recap of Week 7. And it's a shame all this happened, Phil, because it was yet another good week of football, I should say. 4 games, all of them going down to the wire, and some crazy finishes, and we even had our very first overtime game under the new rules. So, wow, what do you think of that, though, man?
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, they had, I know we had other overtimes, but we had the overtime. This is the first time the overtime was over for 1 or 2 plays. It became the 2-point conversions. It's kind of like college football stuff. It was pretty crazy. And I feel bad for Ottawa. I thought Ottawa wasn't going to do it. And there's a lot of heartbreaks. There's a lot of heartbreaks for teams this week. So,
it was definitely. And although one dose of heartbreak for one fan base is happiness for another fan base. It's like the old ABC's Wild World of Sports. You have the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat, and good God.
Yeah. I tell you what, your kicker gave you one of the best birthday gifts of all time.
Oh, man. You know what? I would have told him to get you a damn gift card instead of that. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right. Swallow?
The funny about that game, we will talk that later on. My wife, Randy, she's a big Argos fan. She was really pissed off the whole weekend about that game.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. I was like...
Well, I mean, I was upset too, but I don't know, Kim had come back from spending a week in Williamsburg, and, well, I'm not going to get, let's just say she cheered me up a lot. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. But I needed it.
I cheer her up. I made her breakfast the next day, but she ain't going to be real happy for our video because I got her a nice Hamilton jersey for her with her name on it.
Oh, no. You bought what? It's a new jersey, or I thought she was just going to wear like one of yours.
I got 3 jerseys, so she's gonna wear the white one, so I'm gonna wear that one. So
yeah,
I might wrap the Tiger Cat towel over her.
Oh man.
So it's fun, you know.
I hope your couch is comfortable. That's all I'm gonna say, man.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna be fun. She's like, I was unlucky when it was.
Yeah.
You know.
It was, and I think Danhausen got a hold of that kicker, but we'll get to that game in a little bit. But first of all, the week started off with the BC Lions and the Edmonton Elks.
Yeah. And like I say, that was a defense style game. It reminded me a lot of Pittsburgh Steelers style football. The two things I know important is how BC Lions shut down Justin Rankin. Justin Rankin was averaging 115 points, 115 yards a game until this game. He only had like 9 yards the whole game, and the 9 yards was a 11-yard run in the end of the game. It was insane. And how the defense was for BC was very solid that whole game. Now, the problem was Chase Bryce was trying to throw the ball all the time. Chase Bryce was solid, but think about it, he had 4 interceptions for the whole game. And they was driving a lot down the field, but they drew nothing but interceptions. And that's pretty much for BC. Although we saw Keon Hatcher made a ridiculous catch in the third quarter, that was insane. They looked lost without Nathan Rourke, and Buck Pierce might need some help soon, ASAP.
And Bryce, he caught the ball up a lot, but he started to come on a little bit late in the game. Correct me if I'm wrong, Phil. Is this the game where was Bryce the quarterback that threw with his opposite hand when they were like close to the end zone? Okay, that's what I thought it was. Okay.
Yeah, and it was shocking how in Edmonton the defense was hidden big time, and this defense was lights out because the offense didn't really do so much, and it's crazy. They only had, over 28 yards of rushing the whole game. And the lead rushing, everyone would think of either be Justin Rankin or Javon Leach, but Cody Bernaro was the lead rusher for 11 yards. And that's a big problem right there. Right. Now people say, but Justin Rankin had 46 yards of passing yards. Yeah, that's something, but now if they play like Winnipeg or they play Saskatchewan, that wouldn't fly one bit. No. But that defense kept this game alone. And let me tell you about the rookie, Daryl Jaboni. He went to Rutgers. This is the second week I talk about him. Linebacker, rookie. This guy, personally, I think he's going to be the defense rookie of the year. He made a block. He made a reflection in the end that saved the game. And this team was lights out, you know. Logan Jr. had an interception and a fumble. He had 7 tackles. Kobe Williams did some things. Joel DeBlanco, you know, everyone loved Joel DeBlanco. He had 3 total loss tackles and a forced fumble. And this defense was like that. Coach Killian is just like he just know how to teach these guys the will to win. So they got a tough outing on Thursday against Saskatchewan. This is the first place game, so I really like Edmonton. I really like how they play. They beat you soundly. They beat you ugly. Remind me of Winnipeg, But
right.
That's how they do it.
Well, it's an old adage, good teams find a way to win. Speaking of Edmonton, I want to shout out to everyone who had watched, everyone who watches all of our episodes, of course, but particularly I did the mini clip about the Edmonton team changing their name and how the president thought that was hurting them in the box office and that sort of thing. Probably, I think, I'm going to have to double check, but I think as of this recording, it's gotten the most comments for any of the videos we've ever done. All of them are people like, they want the Eskimo name back. And I wrote back to him, and there was like one guy said, I won't go to any game anymore. It's 70 years of tradition down the tube, all this stuff. And I just wrote back, I was diplomatic. I said, well, listen, a lot of people feel the way you do. And, I understand if you don't want to go to games anymore, but I wish you would reconsider because the players are playing well. And none of them have anything to do with the name. And I even said, look, I even said I'm reference to when my Washington football team friends, wanted their team to be called the Redskins again. And I said, so I get all that, but it's kind of like I told them, as an Argos fan in the U.S., I enjoy watching Edmonton play. I like Nathan Rourke. I like their defense. Give them a chance, so.
Yeah. And also, I think, shout out to my buddy once again, Mike Goodchow. He's Winnipeg game. He made the 13-hour drive to Winnipeg. Edmonton to the game. And he said it wasn't packed, but it was 20,000 people at this game. So slowly but surely, the people was coming back a little. So.
And they made some noise. Late in the game on defense. They were rapping. So go for you.
Like I say, the people in Edmonton keep on coming to the game. I really want to see the end of the year. I want to see 40,000 people at this game, man. That's my personal goal to y'all Elks fans or Edmonton football team fan, whatever y'all want to call them. Catch these guys out. You got once in a generation running back for Canada style. You got Cody Fajara, the veteran. He won a Grey Cup before. You got Oxen Mack. He's solid. Julian Grant. All those people. O'Leary Arns, the ex-Ticats. You got Joel DeBlanco. I think he's probably one of the best defensemen. You got Dario Jaboni, from Rutgers. This team is loaded. This team, and you got a coach that loves the game. He loves Canadian football. He's passionate. He represents the community of Edmonton. Hard worker, take no SHIT approach of life. And this guy is what y'all want for Edmonton. This guy is what it's all about. And I think y'all should go out and see this team. And this team is very fun to watch. And I as a Ticat fan, I'm very pleased with what they're doing. So
yeah,
Edmonton, please, let's make it up. Let's get 25,000 next game. All right.
I'm convinced, and I told you off the air, I bought a third-party Rankin jersey, and I'm hoping I didn't Danhausen his butt too. So.
Yeah. I just think and then the BC Lions, I love their little white jerseys, but guess what? It ain't working for your team. They haven't won a game with those jerseys. So.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to them next week. I have some thoughts about their next game, but yeah. But
yeah, definitely.
But anyway, that was good first game to start off. Then we had a rematch from the previous week, Bill. This time in Calgary between the Owls and the Stamps. So what do you think of that game, man?
What a game, then. That's one of the two doubleheaders. I ain't gonna lie, I had no voice at the end. So this game at first, this is clearly, let's just say it right now, David Alexander is the best quarterback in the CFL.
Yeah.
Simple as that. And Tyson Philpott is the best wide receiver in the CFL.
You also have Snead, and then their running back Tice too is a beast too. So
Tice, everyone. He was on the depth chart. He was considered running back too. He flat out beat Stevie Scott III for that spot. And we forgot about Cole Spiker. Cole Spiker is on this team. He's doing his thing. And this team, and I hate this team is so offense driven. It's not even funny. And it worked off the greatness of Alexandra, and Philpott. This team, from the gate, put up 22 points just like that, and it was insane. I saw a Randall Cunningham-like play by David Alexander. He was in their own end zone. He juked two defenders, and out from the run, he drew a 40-yard pass to Philpott. That was insane.
That was a sick play. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And then, we'll get to Calgary on this, but and he have a record. I think he got a record, the most snaps that have not have an interception yet. That's incredible right there. You know? This guy, and people say he's cocky. Let him be cocky. I don't care.
It's working for him.
And this guy, let's see. I'm going to throw out some offense at you. And this is the testament of this team. 402 yards and 3 touchdowns by David Alexander. Travis Deese had 123 yards and a touchdown. Tyler Snead has 7 receptions, 113 yards, and a touchdown. Tyson Philpott had 5 receptions, 88 yards. Colt Spiker, people forgot about him, 4 receptions, 73 yards, and a touchdown. He was helping in the passing game and all that stuff. Five catches and 49 yards. He made a decent play on that one play. He ran like a 15-yard pass, and he got a late hit by the Calgary defender. That was nasty. And once again, like I'm telling you, over 670 yards of total offense. That's insane.
That is insane, but the thing was about that, it looked like they were going to run Calgary out of their own stadium, but Calgary, they made some adjustments. They rallied back, and they scored some points back up on Montreal. And the way that game ended, though, was so heartbreaking for them. Though I mean, it's just
Eric Brooks, I felt bad for Eric Brooks for that, and it's a problem of Calgary right there. They do not know how to start the game, and they always. And I hate to say that they could be easily up there with upper Saskatchewan and Edmonton. They started off slow. I think they're the lowest the first half points by the CFL, but they got the highest in the second half. You know?
Yeah.
And
I mean, sometimes being a second half team is a good thing, but you don't want to bury yourself that deep in a hole, though, especially not against Montreal. You know.
And Vernon Adams in the second half, he was on fire. I know it was 271 yards. But he had 3 tutties and stuff like that. And Dedrick Mills looked like Dedrick Mills. He had 130 yards and a touchdown. And Jaylen Philpott, 96 and a touchdown, and Eric Brooks, even though he made that fumble, but Eric Brooks is going to be a good wide receiver in years to come in CFL. This and like I say, these Bill Pot brothers.
Yeah.
I tell you what, they're going to be if NFL is watching this, and I'm totally against NFL portraying other teams and the CFL, other players in CFL. If NFL scouts is watching these two guys, get these guys on your team next season. I'm telling you what, Jalen and Tyson Philpott, if you put them on, give them a chance in the NFL, I guarantee you they'll make the team. And I'm not being biased about it, I'm just telling like it is, you know. Sometimes they're CFL good, and there's sometimes you know there's a really good football players.
Right.
These two guys is a really good football player. I saw the dad at the game. I saw their mother at the game. They was all half jerseying up, and I love it. And yeah, shout out for them. They look solid.
And I think it's natural, Phil, if you like a lot of different football leagues, if like we do, we like the NFL and the CFL. Some people, I've talked to some people that are like, I would talk to them about the UFL or the CFL. They're snobs about it. I just watch the NFL. You know, it's fall is NFL football season, or you know, probably folks down south feel that way about college football. You know, but it's like open your mind, man. You have some fun. You know, it's just, but it's natural. You want to get the player. You see a guy like in a UFL or a CFL, and it's like, damn. I won't mind seeing him play for the Ravens or play for the Steelers or whoever your NFL team is. You know, it's like.
Like, there's so many guys, and no offense to some of the NFL players, there's so many guys out there. I was like, do these guys really deserve to be in the NFL? And I see so many guys in the CFL or the UFL, even European League, certain guys that just look like $1 million, and I'm like, give these guys a chance.
Right.
And that's what I say. And people say, oh, well, it's different up there, different. No, it's not the point. I'm just saying, when you see talent, you see talent. And I think these two guys, I think Justin Rankin is talent. Like, you imagine, you teach him how to hold the ball, he'll make a team. I guarantee you, and I hate to say it, and I'm going to pick on the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'll take Justin Rankin over Jalen Warren and Rico Dowling any day of the week.
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
You know?
Right, and
So,
I remember when Dwayne Johnson brought back the XFL, he had like a little documentary series, and he called it Player 54, because he mentioned that NFL rosters are made up of 53 players. I think in these leagues, Phil, there are a lot of 54th players, you know, in CFL and UFL. Europe, I've watched the European games on the weekends. Some of them, it's kind of like, okay, it's fun football, but they'll get killed, you know, in CFL, even CFL or UFL. But yeah, but a lot of these guys, they come up with practice squads from NFL teams. They're kind of like, you know, when they go to the Turk, you know, whoever it is for their team, they tell them, saying, listen, you know, we don't have a spot for you, but look, I know somebody in the UFL, I know somebody in Europe or Canada. Go there, get some tape, build yourself up, and maybe we can't get you, maybe you come back in the league with somebody else, you know, so.
Yeah, it's like, I really don't understand, like, what's this big taboo about going up to Canada and work on your skills, and then who knows, you might get a look at NFL. They always looking. And the fact is, and I tell this to my friends at work, I tell this, like, there's no shame to going up in Canada. And I'm like, wow. I asked this question. I want to ask this question to a real football player. Like, do you rather be a 7th-round pick, have a chance not make the team, you don't see a chance on the field, but you can go up to Canada and be dominant and win championships, and then they look at you. You know?
Well, a lot of them, I think it's financial. Because, I mean,
Yeah.
I think, like, the veteran minimum for the NFL is what, like $600,000, something like that? And I remember seeing the contract for Bo Levi, one of the stars of the CFL. And he was like $450,000, which, look, Phil, you and I could, as my girlfriend would say, bud that money. We live pretty good on $450,000, but for NFL, it's like below their minimum wage. So they probably look at it that way. It's like, you can't even make our minimum wage, you know? But I don't know. I think I don't think that's a fair mindset, really. But
yeah, I just do like you say, open your mind, and I kind of wish some players can open their mind too. And I think certain players, like certain college players, I can't give you out some names. I feel like if they would have did some, go up to Canada, do all right there, you come back down to the NFL and do your thing. Like, look at the great guys, like, look at the great college players that went up there, like Warren Moon and Holloway from Tennessee.
mm-hmm.
I wish I was alive. I wish I was my age when I see those two guys play. I heard they have wars. And they was good, and they guys was college legends. So, like I say, for college people, just have an open mind. You know,
Right.
Who knows? You know, everyone have a different road to get to the NFL, and people will remember your road going to Canada or you well, you know.
Right.
So who knows?
I forgot to mention how we did on the picks of the first two games there.
Yeah.
I think we both, if I remember correctly, I think we both agreed on Edmonton, right? So we both picked them and they won. Then with the Montreal-Ottawa game, I think we split. I think I picked Montreal, you picked Ottawa, and Montreal just edged that out. So that could have went either way.
Yeah.
Then the game after that is another game that could have went another way. But before we get into that, folks, if you missed last week's episode, I promised that anytime that Hamilton and Toronto would play, the winning team would get their theme song played. So, without further ado, let me cue this up, and I'll edit it if YouTube puts up any ads for Blue Chew or any dumb stuff before that. What's going on here? Hold on. Here we go. The fans are dancing as the Argos fans are getting pelted with popcorn wrappers and everything while this is all going on. Ay.
Hey, Oski wee wee and Oski wah wah. That was a beautiful moment.
Meanwhile, you're ducking from Brandy. She's throwing stuff at you too.
Thank God she's working over there in Oakland, so I'm like, So, what I gotta say about this game, that was nuts. And shout out for Milanovich for tailor the game plan of trade for talent. And say what you can say, and trade for look like the trade for we saw in Edmonton that one game. 100 yards running, 200 plus yards of passing, And then when he drove the ball, when he needed to throw the ball, he found his guys. And guess what? The problem is, the defense let up at the end. But the fact is, he found his talent. Kenny Lawler, even though he had two catches, 34 yards, but he made that key touchdown. He ran the ball, and shout out for big Maximilian Meng, and they lost their right tackle in a serious injury, and as a tight end, he played tackle the whole second half, and he held his own, and I gotta give him a shout out for that.
Yeah, good for him. He's having a good year. He was having a good year as a tight end, as a catching tight end. But yeah, I wasn't aware of that. So that's definitely versatility on his part.
Yeah, and it was crazy, Lawler and Smith didn't get too much touches, but the game plan works, and that's what it is. And I think Lawler and Smith understand trade forward. It ain't gonna be like Bo Levi. Trade forward going to win the game by running that ball. So, shout out for that.
Yeah.
And Toronto, it's heartbreak city for this team. This team played their butts off this whole game, and they came back at the end. And what can I say about Tyler Coleman? Tyler Coleman, he's just a catching machine. He's like Tyler Snead, and all he do is catch the ball under the dirt. All he do is catch touchdowns. I think every game this season, under the dirt, scored a touchdown. This team, they should not feel sorry for themselves. I feel bad for Liam Haruler, because I remember Haruler was a good kicker 2-3 years ago. So
right. Yeah, he helped them in their Grey Cup years and all, but it was like.
Yeah.
And the thing is. Yeah. Toronto reminds me a lot of BC. Their quarterbacks remind me of Rourke and Kelly remind me of each other. Their tendency to get themselves buried in a hole, and then come back late. And they have good offense. Their defense, they made good second half adjustments, but the first half they look bad like they have throughout the season. Their special teams, as you mentioned, Larim, Hadralahu, Klaatu Barata, Nektu, whatever. He had a bad game. And I read a lot of comments in a lot of groups where a lot of people want to ship him off already. I even made a joke on a make a caption contest where it had Mike Kelly talking to somebody on a walkie-talkie, and I made it seem like he was calling Justin Tucker to try out for him, but yeah, it was a tough loss for them, It's going to be Toronto. I'm kind of worried. Just as I said earlier, good teams find a way to win. Bad teams find a way to lose. They could have easily won this game. They could have easily won last week against, I think it was Winnipeg. The game before that, they were blown down. I think it was BC that killed them 58-30 or something like that. Calgary, Calgary, thank you. Yeah, they find a way to lose, It's like Kelly tries to put the team on his back, much like Rourke did with BC. But he gets careless sometimes. He'll turn into a gunslinger, and he'll try to force the ball and try to make something that isn't there, and that's cost him a lot too. I'm hoping that the defense can get some momentum off of that second half, making some adjustments. But I'm kind of worried, especially who their opponent is next week. But yeah, so
here's my thing about Toronto personally. Like I say many days, I think this is the fatigue of not playing at home, having a home practice, and having home practice and go on the road, home practice and go on the road, so on and so on. If they beat, if they beat BC, Friday, and it goes in the bye as 3-4. Personally, I think that's going to be a win for Toronto because they're going to go back home after their bye,
right?
And they're going to play the thing. And they're 3-4. Hamilton's a shaky team. We don't know how this. Even though we won this game, there's still a lot of jury about this team.
Right.
This team, Toronto should not feel bad about this game. It sucks because I know y'all hate Ticats. I get it. It's rivalry, but the fact is, BC, they don't got work. I know this is going to be their first game back home for once next week. If you beat BC in BC and you got up by 3-4, it's a win. It's a win. And Hamilton, we have to go to Montreal next week. And
right. We'll get to those games definitely, but as far as our picks went, we both went with our heart, and your heart won by a point. Actually, I'll say it won by 7 points that Liram missed the turkey. But anyway, congrats to your Tiger Cats. I don't hate on the Tiger Cats. I mean, I bought some of your team's merch. I bought tickets to see them in September, the day before a Toronto-Edmonton game, which I'm kind of kicking myself for now. But I mean, I'm still looking forward to that game. But I know it's like longtime CFL fans. I mean, Hamilton, Toronto, or like Ravens, Steelers, or Bears, Packers, or whatever. I mean, it's a long time heated rivalry. So I get it.
I wish they had like a meme, like like the Scooby Doo, when you find like you reveal the villain and you take off their mask, and it became the Baltimore Ravens kicker.
Yep.
What is his name? Tyler? What? Bass? That's his name.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was. Oof.
Yeah, but it was a hard-fought win, and that was what the QEW rivalry is all about. And I can't wait to play them again. And I wish, and this is our next process, we are trying to get Brandy a passport. So we're gonna get that going. Because if we can get that in, I know we're gonna start that process next week and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If we can get that in before Labor Day, I'm gonna beg her to make that trip to the Labor Day Classic.
Wow. So, yeah. Now, is this Brandy's first passport? It's funny, I was talking to somebody at work about this earlier today. Is her first one, or is she renewing?
I think she's renewing, and I think we're trying to find a way what the deal is that. I think it's up to X amount of years. You have a chance to renew it.
Right.
Not blah blah blah. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, when I did it last summer. So, and I got like everything probably within a month. I set up an appointment with the post office. They have a procedure, and they tell you they have like how much fees are for this and fees for that, and then I think bring like your birth certificate, and I forget what else. I think maybe I might have just had that in my license, and then my social. They gave me back my license. They kept the documents. They mailed them back to me eventually, and then they took a picture and they mailed the passport itself. So it didn't take that long. The process, I mean, I'm not doing it justice. I'm making it sound even harder than it really was. It went by very smoothly. I was very pleasantly surprised. So hopefully you guys can get that taken care of, and
And then hopefully we do a live game up north next year, and we can't wait for that.
Yeah.
And that's the plan. We're gonna if August is a tough time because she got to do because she worked at the University of Pitt. But like I know the schedule's moving up earlier, so hopefully we can hopefully it'll be a home game in Toronto or a home game in Hamilton. We can make a 2-for-1 deal. So.
Oh yeah. And another thing you might want to go to too, and I'm debating whether to go to this or not. I'm going to see maybe get some press credits for. I probably won't be able to do it this season, but every year Hamilton is like Canton for the NFL. They have their Hall of Fame every induction ceremony, and this year they're doing it the night before our game, the game that we're going to against Montreal. But yeah,
we're gonna, so like I said, we're gonna try to do some. I've been trying to contact CFL for stuff, like we're going to do a visit to the stadium and all that stuff, and I'm trying to contact CFL for fresh cred for next year when BC have a tryout in Baltimore. So we're trying to get in there. So
yeah. I hope they do that again too. That was fun. So
and basically, and hopefully. Like basically, I talked to other people. I talked to podcast guys up in Calgary, the Stampeder podcast, the Edmonton Elk podcast. If people want to check that Edmonton Elk podcast, it's fantastic. Check them out. They're pretty much like Brandy and Phil up the north. So those two couples are awesome, man.
Nice.
They know their Edmonton stuff. They get passes too, so I talked to them. They even get like combine press passes and draft passes and all that stuff. It's like basically, hopefully we're trying to make this legit. So hopefully that happens.
So for those of you who are listening, folks, spread the word and get more people to do it, so we can bring you more content like that, and we'll work harder to promote ourselves as well. So.
Yeah, we also have a lot of ideas. We're trying to do hopefully we can do a lot. Hopefully get some videos so you see my ugly mug,
Right.
and hopefully have like a live chat thing on there. Hopefully we can make that happen. All that good stuff.
All right.
So
we'll try to do that. Well, anyway, going back to our picks, your boys got you a point. Got you a win, so we went with our hearts. You got the win out of that, so we're.
Oh yeah.
So there's your second win. So.
It was a typical Argos and Ticast. So I can't wait for the next one.
Neither can I. All right, and then finally we had the matchup between Winnipeg and Ottawa at Ottawa, and this, Bill, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's the third overtime game of the season, but it's the first one with the 2-point shootouts. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, that's right. And that was crazy, because at first, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I thought Ottawa had so many chances, and I felt bad for Ottawa. They had so many chances to blow this game out of the water. They had so many chances. The defense was dropping balls. It reminded me of a lot of Ike Taylor out there. No good defense, no hands. And until the fourth quarter, Winnipeg was dead out of the water, and it was selling for. And don't get me wrong, I think Brett Stottner, the kicker, I think he's having a all-pro season. This guy was. They were settling for field goals, and that was the bugaboo. They was dead in the water. They scored 17 points in the fourth quarter. Winnipeg came back and tied this up. So it was insane, and I felt bad for Dinwiddie and the boys, because they played their asses off. But Drew Brown got his revenge. And that's what happened. Like the standard Winnipeg stats I'm looking at right now, Oliveira didn't look so great, but Tim White looked like Tim White. Nick Dempsey was solid Dempsey. He had, his 90 yards and a teddy. Pokey Wilson scored a tutty. Tim White, he was a yak mover. He was pretty good. And pretty much like this defense, what killed this game and this is what killed this game, is early in the second quarter, I was about to score a touchdown, and Meyer drew an interception in the end zone, and I'm like, oh, what are you doing?
Right.
You know?
I'm sure plenty of people in Ottawa were saying the same thing. Some of them might have even said it in French, but...
Yeah. I was saying in all different types of language, you know?
Yeah.
And it was so bad, and it was so sad because this team, Greg Bell looked like a little bit of himself. The wide receivers you need was showing up at the end. Pimpleton and Ebenhard, Hardy, you know, Geno Lewis. Like, think about, like, look at them. They got so many wide receivers so good on this team, it's not even funny. They got Pimpleton, they got Everhart, they got Hardy, Keelan White, Geno Lewis, and what happened there, the defense, this defense is so freaking good, they just was laying an egg in the fourth quarter, and it's just heartbreaking, you know?
Right. And then we got into overtime, and it seemed like both teams were trading field goals then. Then we got to the 2-point shootout, which actually I think the UFL uses it now, and it's similar to college where they start like at the 30 or whatever, but, you know, it's in that regard, but I don't know, it's...
That overtime catch by Hardy, that was a hell of a catch.
Right, yeah, he caught it like under 3 defenders. I don't know how he caught that. That was...
I'm like, whoa, what a catch, you know, and Brady actually picked Ottawa to win that game. I thought she was going to do it, and it was too many. They scored a touchdown, and it was like, what's the score of the game? And at the end of the third quarter, it was, let's see, I'm reading it right now. It was 26-9.
Right.
And they was dead in the water, and then after that, there was a quick two and outs of that, and it showed how Willie Jefferson is such a Hall of Famer. Like, this guy just knew how to turn the next level when he really wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, even though Willie Jefferson may be 35, maybe a foot slower, but he is still freaking good. I still didn't think, once again, Mike Goodchild for an autograph for him. I still think this guy is an instant Hall of Famer for CFL. I think he's so good. He's like the Calais Campbell of the CFL. So.
Okay, so I forget who did it last week. Who did you go with last week on this game?
I picked Winnipeg. I thought Winnipeg was going to blow them out.
I thought you did. Okay, I think we both agreed on that. Okay, so yeah, we both went with Winnipeg and won on that. So going into week 8. We were tied at 12-10. Well, we'll go into week 8, and I'll let you say where we can watch the games. But before we do that, man, CFL Plus. All right, I'm going to quote something you said earlier. They need to get their SHIT together. What happened with their streams? I mean, that was ridiculous. I mean, there were 2 games. There was like some games, like with the Toronto-Hamilton game, I could get it on the phone, but not on the computer. Then I think the game on either the Thursday or Friday game I could get it on. Yeah. Eventually, the stream came late. It's like, they want to court the U.S. fans or other countries' fans. They're not going to do that if your darn stream doesn't work.
And I feel like it sucks as it might be the last year for it. It was so, even my lag was acting up my PSN thing. Like, thank you, CBS Sports Network, for having it. Those games, I needed it. It was insane. Like, I I think the whole World Cup situation, I think it was messing with all the feeds, I think. Personally.
Yeah. Thank God that's over with.
Yeah, thank God it's over. Finally, TSN can have these games on the respective TSN, and all the people who's watching the World Cup don't have to turn on TSN on my stream, so I can actually watch this without no lag. So CFL Plus, you need to get it together, because not only in America, I know some people who live in New Zealand, Mexico, all these people rely on this on it. And I understand it's free. I understand this is stuff like this, but I understand it's a Canadian sport. You want to cater to Canada, but damn it, there's some fans in America who want to watch this product, and this is what is killing them.
Right, and there are a lot of players too who have families in America or or Hawaii. Well, Hawaii's the United States, but I mean not the continental U.S. Outside the continental U.S. But yeah, and you have a lot of players from Samoa and Guam, and there are fans, like you said, in New Zealand and in other countries who just like watching sports,
And like, I don't know how much. Yes, I don't know if ESPN was a lot of money for CFL. Is too rich for their blood, but the ESPN partnership with CFL was so freaking perfect. It's not even funny. Because guess what? If they don't show it on ESPN2, they'll have it on ESPN Plus, which I know people had to pay for, but it was more accessible to the people in America.
Right.
And the fact is, ESPN2 is wasting away on stupid stuff on TV. They can have these games on ESPN2 or ESPN News all the time, but instead they want to watch banana ball and stupid kids going up the slippery steps. So
right, that and like the WNBA's got a big contract with them too, so it's like, I know it, but yeah, like you said, you're right. A lot of those channels, they have like filler programming. I mean, dude, we can't watch CFL, but we watch professional cornhole. Really?
Yeah. And I understand the TSN have a right to have certain days of the week to have exclusive CFL, but some of the CBS Sports Network, it questioned me why not have CFL football?
Only because I guess Big Ten or other college football pays them more.
Yeah.
That's why you do it, but
yeah, and I get the whole, okay, you want to show college football when September and October come around, but they should have no excuse to have CBS Sports every game from from June all the way to August, and have all the Labor Day games and all the Canada Day games and whatnot.
And I mean, it's like right now you can watch the CBS Sports Network games, I think, on Paramount. I mean, talk about streaming. Why can't they just open another little streaming channel on Paramount and just dedicate it to style? It's
Yeah. And you can, and the crazy thing, there's ways you can watch this on. I want to say Paramount Plus. There's ways you can watch it online through CBS Sports Channel.com, but you got to have your cable provider to do that.
Right. Yep.
It's just like, I hope the zone is better than the whole situation, because now there's the pros and cons, like we talk about, those pros and cons of the zone, and the con is I can't have Grey Cup parties at Dave & Buster's anymore after this year, because the only way I can do that is tell them, hey, you got the zone, I'll give you money to have blah, 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 blah. And
right. It's like, even if you go to a restaurant that has, I mean, there's like a chain of restaurants here called the Green Turtle, where they have like all the games on satellite, and they even have like the TVs at each little individual booth. You can change it. And it's like, I don't know. Some of these places, it's like if you get somebody who knows football, great. But if you get like some chick bartender who doesn't know, it's like football. Oh, Ravens, are they playing Aaron? They playing Oklahoma this week? Doesn't know difference from college to pro football. It's like CFL. What's that? And it's like, is that a light bulb? I'm like, okay, shut up.
And the thing is, and I'm trying to do this, like I'm trying to talk to my buddy about this, and we're having talks about this, and like my buddy's going to the bar, we have talks after like this year, because his bar's closed on Sunday.
Right.
But some days he have private parties that day. I want to start talking to him about, hey, there's ways we get the zone on there and have a private party.
Yeah.
And your bar and stuff like that. It's like there's ways we can do that around it. It just sucks because Dave and Buster was so good to us last year and hopefully this year, and it just sucks. I kind of wish CBS Sports Network could still have some games. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, that remains to be seen. We still got 14 weeks before that happens, maybe a little more than that, but anyway.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go into Week 8. The game's coming up, and God, they got some good matchups here.
It's like, people, don't go anywhere. I know this is my birthday week, but come on, don't go anywhere. Watch these games,
Well, or give Bill some human monies. Give me
human money. Oh, man. Like I say, the first game from the gate, that's going to be a good one right here. The red-hot Edmonton versus Saskatchewan Rough Riders. It's going to be an emotional night for the Rough Riders, obviously, but two teams is on a colliding matchup. Edmonton's going on strong. They have to have the keys to Edmonton to win this game. They have to find a way to get Rankin the ball. And I know Rankin had a bad day in the office last week, but Rankin got to get it going. You got to keep Cody Fajaro, and you got to pressure. You got to keep Cody Fajaro up thing, because he was getting a couple of hits, couple of licks against that BC game. The defense, they need to pressure Harris, and if you pressure Harris, a lot of good things happen. And I know Harris is a little bit older, but you can get to him. So it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a very emotional game, and I know people will be a lot sad about it, but you got to overcome this and watch this good game. I think it's going to be a very close game. It's going to be a very competitive game, but for the situation, I think Saskatchewan will win this game.
Okay. Yeah, matchup could go either way. I wouldn't be surprised if Edmonton won, but they're playing at home. You have the emotions with Dalke and everything with that, and I think they'll come out inspired. I think also another thing with Saskatchewan is Ouellette. Is he healthy now, or
what's up? Who?
Ouellette is for.
He's playing, but he's like. He's not like he's still playing hurt, I think.
Yeah.
That thing Ouellette I think Ouellette might be a little bit better because they had a bye last week. So if Ouellette if they get the ball to Ouellette a lot and Ouellette look like Ouellette, who knows? This might be a blowout.
Okay. But yeah, I'm going to agree with you on that. I'm going to go with Saskatchewan also. So.
Yeah. So, like I say, like to the Riders Nation, even Elks Nation, it's going to be emotional, but you know what? It's compassion one another, and that's what the great thing about CFL. Even though we can hate each other teams, but we all love each other, and we all show compassion to one another. So.
All right.
Before
we get to the next game, though, Phil, I'm going to preface this and say, where in theory can we watch this game?
Oh yeah, you can watch this game. Good News in America is on CBS Sports Network if you have cable.
Right.
It's on TSN in Canada, and I don't know. Let me check this real quick, guys. And it's on RDS too. Yes.
Okay.
So you get the whole shebang, CBS Sports Network, TSN, and RDS too. So check it out. It's 9 o'clock at night, and yeah, but TSN, make sure you watch the pregame show. I think they do a good job on the pregame show, so check it out.
Okay. All right.
So,
Then Friday it looks like we have Calgary at Winnipeg. That's another interesting game, looks like.
these games is just getting good and good, and this game, and once again, this game is on my birthday. This is called the Philly Birthday Special. It's on TSN, and it's going to be on TSN in Canada and RDS2 in Canada, and CFL Plus in the States. So you got to find a way, and hopefully CFL will be nice to us for one night for this great game.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, and let me tell you something about this game right here. Calgary and Winnipeg. Winnipeg had a good, hard, rule-and-fought win with Drew Brown waking up in the fourth quarter. They're going back to their confined homes, and Calgary is once again have a must-win game. They can go either or. Calgary had to find a way to They have to find a way to score first half points. They have to have the defense kind of show up, because the last time the defense did not show up. The defense let them down once again. So it's a good game. It's going to be a good fight, and I think Winnipeg will win this game in a very close game. And tough times has happened in Calgary.
Right. Well, Winnipeg, yeah, that was a hard-fought win and all that, but I don't know. I'm kind of concerned about them. They're one of these teams, like we mentioned before, Phil, that will let themselves get into a hole early. I mean, they came back against Ottawa, don't get me wrong, but I think Calgary's better than Ottawa, and I think Calgary might be a little upset. This game could go either way, and normally I would go with the home team on this. Winnipeg, they're kind of like the St. Louis Battlehawks of the CFL. They brag on the Facebook groups about how we lead in attendance and everybody should kiss our butts, but no disrespect to Winnipeg, I'm going with Calgary this week.
Yeah, and it could go either or. I was writing this down all week, actually 2 days. I had in paper literally. I was like, one day I had 1 hour I had Winnipeg, and 1 hour I had Winnipeg, and another I had Calgary. Oh, this. So it's either or, and I think this is gonna be a good game because it's now week 8 now, and those teams that have losing records it's make and break now. So they have to win now. So this game gonna be pretty tough. And I think Winnipeg good. So you have to get Aubert in this game, and you got to, like you say, you got to start out fast in the first quarter. If not, who knows? Calgary will win. So Winnipeg.
Okay. All right, and then we have a matchup where I'm going to call this the World Cup Bowl between Toronto and BC. And it's the first official home game actual home game, I should say, for BC. Their first time at BC Place this season. A lot of emotion riding on this, of course. We had tale of two teams, both screwed over by the World Cup schedule. BC seems like they were given lemons and made lemonade with the Touchdown Kelowna Festival, as we spoke about in previous episodes. Toronto seems like they did the opposite with their lemons and kind of threw them at their fans and told them to watch World Cup instead, and gave the rest to DC Defenders fans to throw at the referees. I don't know. It was some crazy stuff. What do you think about this game coming up?
Well, like I say, is that world title, and maybe Taz can do the coin flip with that. BC, Vancouver people. I know Noir ain't playing. I know y'all big Whitecaps fans over there, but you know what? I know 50 Cent ain't gonna be doing their concerts and stuff, but let me tell you something. Seeing like what I tell you what, BC is a world-class organization. They have good stuff, pregame stuff. They have a lot of good stuff to do. Please try to fill this damn stadium up, please.
Right, I saw they got like a pregame pool party or like a day before pool party or something like that. Yeah. I'm like, and trying to be like Vegas. All right, cool.
And it's crazy. Like they have mixed. They have. I can't believe this. No one ever did this before. They have after work happy hour. And you sit there and you drink with the players, you drink with the cheerleaders and all that stuff. It's pretty cool. This game right here, and we'll go to the game here. This game gonna be on Saturday night. It's gonna be on CBS Sports Network in the States, TSN and RDST2 in Canada. Toronto, everyone in Toronto, they keep on coming close. You know, I shoot themselves in the foot. Then they had to go all the way across the country to go to play in Vancouver. I think BC is 1 foot in the grave right now. I hate to say that. I think Toronto gonna have something to prove, and if they know there's a bit of bye week next week, and if they win next week, if they win this game, they have a week rest, and the week after that they got a home game, and I think they're gonna be fired up, and I think Toronto will win this game.
Ooh.
Because Toronto is a better team than BC. They don't got their best players. Half of the guys in the BC Lions is hurt. Kelly is indoors. Kelly can run it out. And I think this defense ain't good enough. Their secondary is not that good. I think Mattel and Coxey are going to run through them. So, Argos going to win.
Okay, it's interesting you say that. I have a lot of questions about Toronto. As I said before, Phil, the last few weeks it seems like they find ways to lose. Their defense, up until the second half of last week's game, has been poor. Kelly tries to do what Rourke does for BC, like as I mentioned earlier. Tries to put his team on his back. Sometimes he tries to force things to happen that aren't there. The special teams, if they're not dropping footballs in the end zone and giving the other teams rouges, and you have our buddy Liram, kicking everywhere except for up the middle. BC is their first home game at BC Place. I know Bryce had his issues a little bit. I'm worried about Toronto's defense. I think that, I don't know, you, me, and Brandy could probably throw against Toronto some games, man. I don't know. So, I'm thinking BC's going to ride some hometown momentum. Their foot might be in the grave, Phil, but it might be more like a casket match where Mankind's trying to close the lid and Undertaker raises a hand like, wait a minute, boom, So I think BC's going to. I'm going against my heart. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm going with BC this week.
Yeah. I feel like Undertaker rise to the cast of Winnipeg last week.
Right.
So I think this is a make and break game for these two teams. I think whoever loses this game, they're in serious trouble. And I feel like these two teams are practicing like this. This is BC don't want to be 1-5. Coach Buck Pierce definitely don't want to be 1-5 because I guarantee you this team do not make the playoffs. I hate to say it, Buck Pierce will get fired from BC. Simple as that.
Right.
This team is too damn good to be 1-5 or 2-4, whatever it is. And Toronto, if they win this game, it's a freaking win for the Argonauts. I think they weathered the storm, and just like Argonauts do, they weathered the storm. And this will be a big win for them. It'll be a big boost the second after the bye for this team. So,
right.
Who knows?
Okay. All right. Well, then finally on Sunday we have your Tiger Cast. Well, Tiger Cast. Yeah, that's gonna be. That song's gonna be in my sleep after I edit this thing, Phil. You know that, right?
Oh yeah.
Anyway, they're taking on the Birdmen of Molson, the Montreal Alouettes. What's your feelings on this game, bro?
We're finally gonna go to hard work. I'm going to hard work in Montreal, so this game gonna be 7 o'clock. TSN in Canada, RDS 1 in Canada, and CBS Sports Network and USA. Well, we got a lot of CBS Sports Network this weekend. So Hamilton. Now Hamilton did a great thing to beat their rival Toronto. Now the bigger task is finally get that monkey off that back and beat Montreal. So as a Hamilton Tigers fan, I say this like this. You hang with this team, you know how to hang with this team. And remember these 2 games that really piss you off and bring it to their game and beat them in their own backyard. Let Trey Ford be Trey Ford. Do not let him be someone he's not. All right? He's not Bo Levi. He's not Dolagala. He's Trey Ford. Let Trey Ford do Trey Ford. Find a way to get the ball to Lawler and find a way to get the ball to Keandre Smith. They only had 4 catches out of those 2. That's not enough to beat this team. You got to find a way to get Roundtree to third the ball, too. You got yourself a defense, and defense let you down in the 4th quarter. You gotta hit Davis Alexander. You gotta hit him hard. I'm not gonna say aim at the hip, but hit him. Make them feel uncomfortable. But then again, Montreal, if you win this game, you're so far away. You're so far away in first place. And pretty much they're all playing for second place. So you gotta keep that. You gotta keep your foot on the gas pedal. And unfortunately, I'm gonna take Montreal and win, but I think it'll be a lot closer than people think. And the key is Trey Ford, and the key is their defense. You got to find a way to pressure Alexander, and I don't think they can do it. I think Davis Alexander and Phil Pott is way too strong for this team, but I think it'll be a very close game. I got the Alouettes to win this game.
Okay, I have them as well, and here's the thing with Trey Ford. I think, like you said, he has to be himself and not try to be like Bo Levi and play hero ball. I think Trey Ford, his strengths are I think seems like he was very mobile, especially in the Toronto game last week. He had a good half against the Argonauts, but you know what? As an Argonauts fan, I will say this: most teams have at least a good half, if not a good game against their defense. So. And the second half, they scuffled a little bit. But your defense has been playing consistently well, and they're going to have to. But I agree. I think Montreal has too many weapons. And not only are they going to pull further apart in the Eastern standings, we might see some carryover because, between what happens with Edmonton and Saskatchewan, that division's still pretty tough, whereas our team... My Argos have a losing record. If Hamilton loses this game, they'll have a losing record. Ottawa is Ottawa, so yeah, it might bring some West teams over into our division, though, dude.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and I feel like unfortunately, I think Montreal might clinch this by September. you know.
Yeah.
And I just think it'll be pretty cool if Hamilton do beat Montreal, get that monkey off their back.
Yeah.
But then again, I remember last year they had a game at Montreal. They looked like $1 million against them. But it's so much different. And Trey Ford, even though he played a solid game, for so many passes it was so many passes he threw so bad. It was insane. I remember they tried to do a running back screen and he threw it like 10 yards over their head. I'm like, what are we doing? You know?
Yeah.
Like it reminded me a lot of baby hands Kenny Pickett, you know, like
Right.
like good God, you know. But keep working on Trey Ford, but let Trey Ford be Trey Ford. Let him be elevated in the game, and that's my only advice to that team, man. Who knows? You play house money. That's what I say.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see. And like I said, again, you have to worry about health because it's a long season. Right now, Montreal, they're rolling. If something happened to Davis Alexander, I mean, last season was the opposite. He was hurt for a lot of the year, and then when he came back, they kind of roared back in, and then eventually made the playoffs and then the Grey Cup. But for a lot of the season, they were struggling too. So I mean, if something were to, yeah, you got to protect Alexander, Montreal. I think that's your key to everything.
And then that's my worry about how Davis Alexander, how he plays. He plays so aggressive, and sometimes, and I knock on wood, I don't want anyone to get hurt, but sometimes he's favored in that hip, and one hit, he might just, you know, he can't move, and
right.
that's the scary part about it, and yeah, so who knows, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, unfortunately, Ottawa is on a bye, the 0-6 Ottawa, so they got a lot of things they have to think about for Ottawa. If Myers, your guy, or maybe Bethel Thomas might be coming in from the bleed for the sideline, who knows? So Ottawa got a little thing going on, and they need every week off because Montreal is looking for them on the 31st. So who knows?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you mentioned earlier about if BC loses, their coach could be fired. What about Ottawa? I mean, he came from Toronto, who they won 2 out of 3 years, 2 out of the last 4 years Grey Cups, and then he comes to Ottawa, hasn't won anything. So,
like I say, it's a must-win for BC against Toronto because I'm looking what's ahead for them. They got to go at Winnipeg. They got to play Hamilton at home. Hold on, sorry. So, they got to go at Calgary, and that's their bye. So that's 3 tough games they have to play.
yeah.
And they have to win this game. And someone say, and back to Ottawa, someone say they might be 0-18, and as of right now, for the next 3 games, it's a possibility. They got Montreal at home. They got to go. Then they got to go west. They got to go at Winnipeg. Then they got to go play at Montreal. Even though they hang with them against Montreal, but 2 games in Montreal, and you got Winnipeg. So,
yeah, that's some tough sledding right there. So yeah, they got to fix their team, and then I've heard a lot of fans, especially Ottawa fans, when they would watch their games. What's up with their lighting in that stadium, man? I mean, I know they're doing a lot of construction and stuff, but it looks like they rebuilt the one side of the stadium, and it looks like they're doing the other side. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
like that stadium is it's like an enigma right there. Like That stadium, that lighting is bad. But the stadium from the outside looked pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like the ground is bad. Like their turf is bad. The lighting is bad. Half is in construction. I understand that the owner of the Red Blacks is trying to get a Grey Cup game in 2030, but we don't even know this team will be there in 2030 because the lack of money.
Right.
You know, so.
Well, I saw this one video. I'll send you a link to it. Somebody reviewed, like, and the video's like 5 years old, but all the stadiums are current. And they reviewed,
Yeah.
he did a review of all 9 CFL stadiums, and I think he gave Ottawa, I think he might have given it the lowest score. But, no, he gave McMahon in Calgary the lowest score. But he said one thing that was interesting with it was, one side, they had rebuilt it as modern with club suites and all that stuff. The other side is still part of like an old stadium that was there. And when you go to that side, he said it looks like the entrance to a hockey rink. And what's weird is, it is. You go into there, you have seats for the football and for their soccer team, you know, the outdoor sports. But then you go downstairs, they have a hockey rink underneath their stands. And it was like a little hockey bowl. It looked like it had like, I don't know, like a few hundred to 1,000 seat hockey rink in there. So
one of my buddies, he's a big hockey guy, and I wish I had this kind of money. He go to every outdoor game. He went to every single outdoor game.
Oh, wow.
And he went to the one year, the Heritage Classic up there with the Senator, first and I forgot who, but the Senators had outdoor game.
Oh, nice.
So he told me, and this is like a couple of years ago, he told me, it's like, how you like Red Black Stadium? It's like honestly, it's tailor-made for an outdoor hockey game more than a football game.
Okay.
And I was like, I could see, he can understand why the complaints, you know, because it is why the complaints of that stadium. Mm-hmm. And like I say, they need I hope the construction might work for this team, but I'm curious about how the new football field is going to be, because I feel like the new rules, some of those stadiums are going to look weird, and that's one of those.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, especially stadiums that have like end zone, have seats behind their end zones. Some of them don't. I mean, like, well, Hamilton. I mean, their end zones are interesting. They have one, it looks like a picnic area, and then the other one they have like a brand new kind of like a bar. It's like I actually saw a video from the company that built it. It's like basically it's like this metal enclosed area where they have like a little bar and restaurant and stuff like that. I mean, it looks really nice. I think it's called the Porter Hangar, I think it's called, but.
Yeah, I've seen it, yeah, and I heard it's like exclusive, it's kind of like club seats or something like that.
It is, yeah, when I was looking for tickets, I was looking at that, and it's like, and I wasn't able to get them because I think they want to be like a corporate suite where you get like groups of 10 or something like that, but yeah, but a lot of those stadiums, though, I mean, it's like when they shorten those fields, you know, some seats aren't going to be as good as they used to be, you know, and I don't know.
And I feel like, you know, a lot of things like that, and I think a lot of, and this sucks because the renovation, take a lot of the organization money. Like, some of the organizations don't have that kind of money. Like I talked to my buddy who went to the Edmonton game the other day. He's like, it's a very big stadium, but it's still obsolete. It still looked like it was like a time capsule of 1970s.
Right.
You say, I took a look at the pictures. They remind me a lot of, because I go to draft, it remind me a lot of Arrowhead Stadium. And And then that's a good way, but there's a lot of old stuff in that stadium. Like the locker room is nice. Locker room, even if it's 20 times better than the Steelers' locker room, but
oh, no kidding.
Yeah, and but the fact is, this, like the renovation of that stadium, man, I feel like everyone talk about this, the name change and all the stuff like that, and no one's gonna go. I think if you renovate that stadium, I think it'll bring more excitement to that team, more excitement to the fans. So who knows? I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
I also heard, and this is a rumor here, and I look into it. I heard Toronto Argonauts is contemplating moving to Barrie, I think it's right, Barrie, Ontario.
Well, that's what I heard. I heard it's their soccer team. Toronto FC, they have kind of like a smaller affiliate. They're moving to Barrie, but I heard that the Argos were talking about hosting games, preseason games, or maybe even moving there outright. I don't know. Yeah, I heard of that too.
Yeah, so I don't know what the stadium situation. I don't know. They already have a stadium up there. I don't know.
Well, they do, but I heard they're adding on seats. They're trying to add on for the lower level soccer team, because I think they have like 3,000 now. They're trying to add it to like, I don't know, 6 or 8. But
yeah, or I feel like 6 or 8. I think that's a little bit too small for that for Argonauts. Like people say that no one go to the game. They still have 20,000 people go to those Argonauts games. So I think they're trying to want them to have 30,000 people go to the game or look like a filled seat. But
right.
I just kind of wish what the word called. I kind of wish TSN could show the other camera angle and see how packed that other side is, because I do have season tickets to store games, and I know how sitting in the sun sucks.
Right.
So, that might be the situation there. So who knows?
Okay. All right. Well, so those are our picks for Week 8. I guess we're close to wrapping up the episode as a whole. Bill, do you have anything you want to add before we sign off? Or?
Yeah. So, a shout out to Mike Rowley. He made it to the CFL Hall of Fame. Let me tell you something about Mike Rowley real quick. He is not only a big time coach in the CFL, he's a big time coach in college football. He took a lot of teams to BCS games and whatnot. He also won a couple of Grey Cups as a coach himself, and he finally gets the nod to go to the CFL. Shout out to him and give him all the love right there. Another sucky news: longtime great CFL player Mario Alford used to play for Saskatchewan Roughriders, and I call him the CFL version of Devin Hester. He got released by the Alouettes. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, so a lot of people making Alouettes, stuff like that. And also, I forgot another name, for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Shout out for Calvin Tiggle. He also inducted to the CFL Hall of Fame and also Museum 2026 class. People don't know about Calvin Tiggle. Calvin Tiggle is one of the best of the game. He, we'll see. Hold up. I had the stats in my hand. They said he was feared by opponent, but he was respected in the locker room. His determination and the penalties stood out most. Teammates knew they could count on him to make a game-changing play, and fans love him for it. This guy, not only that, he also made it to the Tiger Cats class of 2011. And he's 4 of the 6 inductees to name this year class, including Brandon Banks, another Tiger guy, Sean Milligan, and Charleston Hughes, and my man Mike Rowley of today. So,
all right.
tickets, and they say to remember, tickets, whoever in the Hamilton area or in Canada area, tickets to the induction ceremony, it will be the evening on September 17th. Tickets is on sale. It's not that bad. It's only like 10 to 15 bucks. So you're going to see the unveil, the bus. So check him out.
Mm-hmm.
This guy was good. This guy was, he's from Georgia Tech. I remember him from Georgia Tech. He was an three-time all CFL team. He won 4 divisional all CFL teams. And he appeared at Grey Cup, including winning one in 99. He completed season as 3 times most outstanding defense player of the year. So go ahead and check it out. And whoever in Canada, check out the Hall of Fame, which not only you get a ticket for September 17th, also get a ticket for September 18th for the game against Montreal. I think you're going to that game, right?
That's correct. I am going to that game. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so check that out. And like I say, you can check that out the day before. They have tickets for the Hall of Fame deduction. So
all right. Yeah, I was looking into that too. They, as you mentioned, it's 10, I think, for the ceremony, but they also have like other packages too, where they have like a banquet dinner and stuff like that, and that's a little more pricey. But you know what? It's, if you get to have dinner with Hall of Famers, and especially if you're a Tiger Cats fan, you have now this class this year. How many do they have this year, Phil? They got 2 people in there now, right?
They got 4 guys. Actually, they got 5 guys, and we still got 1 more to be unveiled.
Well, I'm saying, but Hamilton has 2 players in the inductor, right?
Yeah, they got 2 players. They got Brandon Banks and Calvin Tickle.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah,
so
check it out. Basically, if people in Hamilton, once again, and I can't wait to go see this. I can't wait to go see this Canadian Football Hall of Fame Museum. It's 4th floor of Hamilton Stadium, and it's a non-profit. They got over 80,000 Canadian football artifacts, ranging from equipment to trophies, photos and videos, spanning the rich history of the game. So
nice.
Check it out, and the people who go into the game, or if you have enough money, check out the induction Hall of Fame, because these guys paved the way of the game right now. So check it out.
Right.
And I want to try to beg you to get Brandon Banks' autograph if you get a chance. So
I'll see what I can do. I'm not 100% sure if I can go to the banquet. I have to confer with my boss. We might be doing something in Niagara Falls that night, but we'll see. We'll see. We're definitely going to the game the next night, though. It's.
I tell you what, Brandon Banks was so freaking good. Just let you know, just throw it out there. Brandon Banks also was a good player. I remember he played for Washington too. And I think
right. Yeah. He was like a kickoff returner for them, right?
Yeah. I think he scored a couple touchdowns too.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was preseason or not, but he was such a hell of a player. It broke my heart when he got this close to had Hamilton winning in 2000. I won't say 13. I thought we had him, but
right.
Holding call, phantom holding call, I call it. But anyway, yeah. So it's congratulations, Calvin Tickle, and congratulations, Mike Rowley, for making it to the Hall of Fame. So and all that good stuff.
All right, congrats indeed. All right, folks.
Yeah.
Well, listen. Thank you once again for talking Canadian football with us. We will talk to you next week.
All right, bye, guys.